Hey guys, this is Scott with TubeTape.com. This is Basic Concepts Part 2. What we're going to do today is we're going to show you some things that you can do in post to make your videos look better. As you remember, what we did last time is we filmed a scene two different ways, and the second one we applied some more advanced techniques. And what I'm going to do is break those techniques down for you today.
So in the second version, one of the things we did was to put in an establishing shot to really help sell the scene. We also composited in some stock footage of some people working in a lab. Let me show you how I did that using a 3D camera in HitFilm. Okay, before we get into all the 3D camera tracking stuff, let me show you a simple technique you can use to add some artificial camera movement with just about any editor out there. And basically that's just adding some keyframes and moving your footage around. So I take my piece of footage here that's basically this factory that's just a still shot with some smoke in the air. But then if I go ahead and I add some keyframes and I change the position of the footage, what will happen now is it'll look like the camera's actually moving. Okay, for this next shot I wanted to do something a little more complicated. I wanted to composite this inside of 3D space because I wanted to achieve a parallax. That's where you can get a different perspective based on the camera moving. You can see a little more into the lab as I move around from different angles, zoom in or zoom out. So one of the benefits of HitFilm is the ability to composite into 3D space. Let me show you what that means. First of all, I'm going to drag some footage onto the timeline. And I'm going to turn that into a composite shot so I can do some compositing. And that was the footage of our person talking on the phone. And let me move some footage of the laboratory down below that. Go ahead and reposition this. So I'll go ahead and I'll draw a mask here and mask out the glass in this door so we can see through to the laboratory below. This is just traditional 2D compositing. And let me go ahead and invert that mask. And you can see that I now have the person talking on the phone with the laboratory behind them. That's just a traditional 2D composite where the layers are just squished on top of each other. Okay, let's go ahead and add a virtual camera now. I'll do that by selecting a camera as a new layer here. And we want to convert the other layers to 3D space as well. Okay, by changing the viewer to the top view and selecting both cameras and both layers, you can now see everything in 3D space. And what we can do is take our laboratory layer, select it by itself, and move it back slightly. If we switch to the perspective view, we can now see that the layers are actually apart. And you get this really cool parallax effect. And then what you can do is you can go ahead and zoom your camera in and out, and you can keyframe this. Let's say you would want to keyframe the position. Let's say we want to start. We'll go ahead and keyframe this and have it zoomed way in to begin with. It's actually going to zoom through the layer with the person on it, and it'll be right into the laboratory. And then when you pull back out, you get the reverse effect. But I also added some movement that would go left and right, you know, the X and Y, and it would give you a little bit of this kind of thing where you could see again the parallax into the laboratory. The other cool thing you can do with a virtual camera is you can set a depth of field and a depth of focus. What you need to do is in the layer properties you have to enable this depth of field here, and then you can go into your lens and you can set a focus distance. I have 900 here, and what that does is as you zoom in, the guys in the lab are going to get clearer, and as you zoom out they become more blurred just like a real camera. The other thing that we can do is some color correction on these layers. Let's work on the laboratory layer first. Go ahead and select it, and we'll go under color, and maybe we'll crush the blacks a little bit. That's always a pretty cool look, so I'll go ahead and bring that down. And bring the black up a little bit. And that'll just help make it match the other layer a little bit better. Yeah, just a little color correction. One of the other major differences between scene 1 and scene 2 was the audio and the sound effects. Let me go ahead and show you a sample of each scene.
This is Jeff. Jeff, I'm down at the lab. I was working on that experiment, and they injected me with something. Somebody's looking for me. I think they're gonna come find me. I really need your help out here. I think somebody might already.
As you can see in the second scene, we added music, Foley sounds, and a variety of sound effects to really help sell the scene. Well, thanks for watching this tutorial. Be sure to look for others coming out soon.